Rights Tribunal is probably obligated by their own tangled web to bring me in front of it. If they find me, I won't pay it. If they put me in jail, I'll go on a hunger strike. I'm not doing this. And that's that. I'm not using the words that other people require me to use, especially if they're made up by radical left-wing idiots.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. If you're going to enjoy this one, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Now we start things off with Jordan Peterson, who had some harsh words for Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Peterson explained that he believes that Justin had a moral duty that he didn't accomplish. Peterson added to that by saying Trudeau puts on a face in public because he knows how to act.
You have a moral duty. If you have the advantage of a name, you have a moral duty to supersede the accomplishments of the person who bore that name and gave it its weight before you dare capitalize on it in the public sphere. And Trudeau did none of that. He knows how to behave. He knows how to act in public. He had the upbringing for it. Other than that, there's nothing there, not that I can see. And if there was, he wouldn't have run the way he did. He's not an impressive person in my estimation.
Sounds like he's calling him fake. I'm sure Justin wouldn't have taken kindly to that at all, but if you thought that was something, Peterson still had more to say about Justin. Peterson believes people should be hired on merit and not by their gender or the like. Next up, we have Jordan Peterson, who's doing a Q&A, and well, someone asked a question that made Peterson really cringe. He was completely baffled by the question, and well, it almost became quite an awkward moment.
I want to know, what is your answer to young people for some of the really big problems facing humanity, like the climate catastrophe, like economic crisis, like the precarious job market? Because they just don't, you talk all this much about individual responsibility. Most of us are never going to be able to afford to have all of these assets to have responsibility over. So what is your advice beyond banal comments like clean your room?
Peterson was questioning whether or not she was asking a question or stating her opinion.
It's actually rather difficult to answer a question that ends with your comments are banal, politely. So, I would consider that more of an opinionated personal and political statement than actually a question. So why don't you try reformulating that so that there's an actual question there?
In this next clip, Jordan Peterson's speaking at a school campus. He was rudely interrupted, though, by some SJWs that just stormed through and caused a huge scene. But then they quickly learned not to mess with Jordan. He clapped back at them, and he had the backing of the whole crowd.
To hijack an event like this that other people put time and effort into, and to use their civility of the crowd and the civility of the organizers as an excuse to blatantly yell out your ill-informed opinions is no way to conduct.
He pretty much summed up what SJWs do, which is just complain, but they don't ever make constructive and proper arguments. Jordan Peterson was interviewed on British GQ, and this interview was full of fireworks at times. There was quite a bit of tension between him and the interviewer because they didn't agree on a lot of things. During the interview, Peterson made an interesting statement about the interviewer, saying that he already knows where she stands on certain issues. The interviewer disagreed and tried to prove that Peterson was wrong, but she failed at that quite miserably.
You don't know where I stand on all things.
I would hope that was true.
Okay, let's talk about transgender issues. That's fun. What do you think I think about transgender issues?
I suspect that you think that gender expression, gender identity are fundamentally social constructs, but I could be wrong.
No, I believe that there are definitely some biological differences between the sexes. We've observed them. I do believe that gender is a hugely powerful social structure that we've built on top of that it is largely, but not entirely, socially constructed. I think when you look back through the history, biological differences have consistently shrunk, like we were talking in the 80s.
They haven't in Scandinavia.
In this clip, Jordan's getting interviewed by Stephen Crowder, and well, Stephen quickly learned that Jordan is a pretty tough person to make laugh.
Not too much dancing, we have to be professional because we have a real guest here, not Gay Jared.
Real guest.
Real guest. He's a gentleman and a scholar, quite literally. We say that a lot.
We say that. We mean it this time.
It's not true. He is a professor at the University of Toronto. Jordan Peterson videos on YouTube. Jordan B. Peterson, at Jordan B. Peterson on Twitter. I have those plugs right, correct?
You do.
You do. I highly recommend it. So we wrote about Professor Jordan Peterson a while back. He can just talk about exactly what it was. It rolled on gender pronoun.
Crowder really had to quickly find a way to kill the awkward silence and get out of that situation pretty quickly.
And freedom of speech versus supposed social justice. I come from Canada where it was just sort of assumed, and then now he's blown up. He's been all over Joe Rogan on the interwebs. Thank you for being with us, sir.
Nice dance.
Well, thank you.
You're very graceful.
Well, you know, it's funny with Canadians, until he smiles, you don't know if it's a piercing stare. Or
it's kind of left in the dark on that one.
Kind of left in the dark, so I appreciate, sometimes it's like you get professors and they say, I appreciate humor. But they don't crack a smile. Well, apparently they've had...
We're about to see Jordan in an interview where the discussion was surrounded by being offensive to people and freedom of speech. The woman asked a question to which Peterson had quite a blunt answer to, and, well, this completely took the interviewer by surprise and left her speechless.
But you get my point. You get my point. It's like you're doing what you should do, which is digging a bit to see what the hell's going on. And that is what you should do. But you're exercising your freedom of speech to certainly risk offending me. And that's fine. I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
So you haven't sat there and I'm just trying to work that out. I mean,
Gotcha.
You have got me. I'm trying to work that through.
This is probably one of my favorite Jordan Peterson moments of all time. Now, we end things off with Jordan Peterson being asked about his thoughts on the Canadian government introducing some repercussions when it came to addressing transgenders with the wrong pronoun. Peterson is passionate about this topic and has some strong views about it as well. Views that actually divide opinion.
The Rights Tribunal is probably obligated by their own tangled web to bring me in front of it. If they find me, I won't pay it. If they put me in jail, I'll go on a hunger strike. I'm not doing this. And that's that. I'm not using the words that other people require me to use, especially if they're made up by radical left-wing idiots.
As you can tell, Peterson is against the whole thing and finds the whole pronoun issue rather ridiculous. He fully believes that it is set in stone that a woman is a woman and a man is a man, and that even if they become transgender, to the core, they are their biological gender. And when it comes to the consequences of not abiding by the pronoun law, he says that he will not pay the fine or address transgenders with the pronoun they want to be addressed by if they try and force it on him. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. If you enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and so much more. We have quite a few Jordan Peterson videos, so I'd really suggest checking them out. Goodbye for now, everyone, and we'll see you next time.